So guys, probably our last video for the day because I would love to get to bed sometime, but I did sit up to wait for this. House Intel votes to release controversial surveillance memo to the public. It's a good day. It's a good day. People are gonna go to prison. Da, 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 da. Let's jump into it. The House Intelligence Committee on Monday evening voted to release a classified memo circulating in Congress that purportedly reveals government surveillance abuses. Supposed to be reportedly, I think. Don't know. The vote was announced to reporters by the California Rep. Adam Schaefer, the top Democrat on the committee, who called it a very sad day. I think in history of this committee, the motion passed on a party line basis, he said. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? The Democrats, they want to know all about Russia. Russia collusion, you know, all of this collusion that happened with Russia. But when it came to this memo, all of a sudden, they stuck their fingers in their ear and like, la, 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 la. I thought you wanted to know about collusion, but you don't want to know about this. I wonder why. President Trump now has 5 days to decide whether he has any objections before the memo can be publicly released. Please, for the love of God, President Trump, if you see this, please read this memo out at your union address. He's got a State of Union address tomorrow. Announce the memo at the address. I would love for him to say it, just even to announce that he will be releasing it. I would love that, because that would red pill so many people. Last week, top Justice Department officials urged House Intelligence Chairman Dev Newman not to release the memo, saying it would be extraordinarily reckless. I wonder why it would be extraordinarily reckless. And could harm national security and ongoing investigations. Which is a complete load of crap, because there's nothing in there that's actually to be classified. There's nothing in there that is top secret or anything like that. And they're trying to say that because they don't want this thing released. The Democrats do not want this memo out there. I wonder why. I wonder how damning it is for the Democratic Party if they fight this much not to get this memo released. The 4-page memo has been described by GPO lawmakers as shocking, troubling, and alarming, with one congressman likening it to details of the KGB activities in Russia. Those who have seen the document suggest it reveals what role the unverified anti-Trump dossier played in the application for surveillance warrants on at least one Trump associate. Schaefer said the GPO Majority Committee also voted against releasing a counter memo written by the Democrats. So what he's talking about there, guys, is there is actually 2 memos floating around. There is the one that's been written by the GPO side, which is basically outlining all those details we just previously mentioned. And then there's a Democratic version of the memo released, which from what I understand is more of a justification on why they did certain things. You know, at the end of the day, I don't know how you justify spying on someone in the Trump campaign and using illegal means possibly to do it. But yeah, that's what he's talking about there. He's talking about the second memo not being released. Don't worry, the first one, release the memo, officially is still happening. As for whether or not it should be released, that's actually not true either. The second memo, the Democratic memo, they said they would have a look at it in about a week from now, or a week later. So they still haven't ruled out releasing the second one. They're just focusing on releasing the GPO memo for now. As for whether the second one should be released, I can see why they've written it, and I can see why they want it released. At the end of the day, they want it released because it sort of helps damage control. But yeah, considering the second one was only written after the traction of the first one gained, as far as I know, then yeah, my understanding is it's a bit of damage control. Today, this committee voted to put the president's personal interests, perhaps their own political interests, above the nation's interests, the Democrats said. No, actually, it's actually in the interest of the nation to see this memo, to at least see this first one. And that's what everybody has said when they've come out on TV. They've said it is a national interest to see the second memo. The first memo, sorry. The second one, I could sort of maybe make a justification why it should be released, maybe later. I can understand why they want it released. Like I said, damage control. I can sort of understand, maybe make a justification why. Get both sides of the argument. But yeah, I do worry that releasing the second one will take some of the wind out of the sail for the first one. That it will stop some of the people from the Democratic side going through and actually reading the first memo, not realizing that there's actually two of them. So yeah, I can sort of see both sides of the argument here. The vote came the same day that it was reported that FBI official Andrew McCabe has left his position as deputy director. And I am sure there is no reason why those two things are linked at all, right? None whatsoever. I'm sure that he stepped down on the day the vote for the memo happened because it was just a good day. Sure. Moving along. The White House seems to favour the memo's release, but won't specifically say whether the president will back the effort. Actually, I think Trump has actually said he will. He has no issues with it being released, but we'll have to wait to see. We want full transparency, the White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said on Monday. That's what we've said all along, which is great. It's what everybody wants. Sanders said they're letting the process play out before officially weighing in. And I'll check their Twitter in a second, see if there's been an update on that. On Sunday, FBI Director Christopher Wray went to the Capitol on Sunday to view the 4-page memo, sources told Fox News. According to one source, Wray was asked to point out inaccuracies or other issues with the wording. He said he would need, quote, his people to take a look at it, the source said, and the review is ongoing. With that, I think my problem with doing that is at the end of the day, it's going to give them a opportunity to flee to Mexico. Because according to this memo, it's that bad. So I worry that we might be giving them a little bit of a chance to get away, or to sort of do some damage control, or get their affairs in order, whatever it may be. Which is what also Schiffer was trying to do as well. He tried to delay the memo being released. He then wanted to go through and actually get the memo checked before being released. It was a stalling tactic, let's face it. South Carolina GPO Representative Trey Gowdy, who helped write the 4-page memo, said Sunday he wants it made public. Is he South Carolinian, is he? I like Trey. I really like Trey Gowdy. He also suggested the memo indeed addressed whether the FBI relied, at least in part, on the dossier paid for by the Democrats and Clinton campaign during the 2016 presidential election to apply for a secret federal court to get a surveillance warrant reportedly on then Trump advisor Carter Page. If you want to know whether or not the dossier was used in court proceedings, whether or not it was vetted before it was used, if you're interested in who paid for the dossier, then yes, you want the memo to come out, Gowdy told Fox News Sunday. The dossier was compiled by former British intelligence officer Christopher Steele and contained opposition research on Trump during the 2016 presidential campaign. Steele was hired by the US firm Fusion GPS, which commissioned the research with funding from the Democratic National Committee and the campaign of Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton. At the same time, the firm was allegedly doing work to help the Russian government fight sanctions. Requests for surveillance warrants are made through the US Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, also known as FISA Court, and target specific foreign spies inside the United States. Which is interesting because why are they spying on Trump? he's not a foreign spy, unless he's talking with a foreign spy, then yeah, why were they spying on him? And that's what we want to find out from the memo. So guys, what's the wrap up on all this? What's my views? Well, in case you can't tell, this is really good news. And yes, this is something that we've wanted. Now, all we have to do is wait for it to come out. Hopefully it won't be too redacted. Hopefully it'll be uncensored. Even if it is censored, it always does leak out eventually in the future. But like I say, yeah, it's a good sign that this is going to be released. We're going to get some final answers, and hopefully heads will roll. Because there's been a lot of corruption reportedly between the Obama, Hillary campaign, the Clinton Foundation, the Democratic nominee party, or the Democrat Party, Christopher Steele, deep state, certain actors in the FBI and Department of Justice, all working against Trump. So, yeah, if this thing is as legit as what people are suspecting, this is good. This is really good news. I would love Trump to get up at the State of Union address tomorrow and actually announce if he's releasing it. That would be insane, because that would give it a worldwide platform. But yeah, guys, look, at the end of the day, you know we're going to report on this when it drops. You know I'm going to make a video. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. The memo, are you interested? Are you keen? Do you want to see this? What do you suspect is in it? Let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new, channel welcome, and subscribe. Don't forget to share. And apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.